Hello, hello. Going to adjust just a little bit. There we go. Nice. Okay, so tonight we are going to create a couple of shaker cards. I wanted to use, hi Becky, I wanted to use these, oh my gosh, these skeletons, they are so cute. I fell in love with this set as soon as I saw it. These, hi Michelle, these are so cute. Hey Cheryl. So I already put them on the stamping blocks, but I think we're going to use the Misty, or maybe let's just use the stamping blocks. I was excited that I got my new sticky mat for my Misty, so now I don't have to use magnets anymore. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Anyway, so I wanted to use this stamp set, and then I want to use these shaker card acetate pouches. Now, I was amazed at how these work. I really didn't think it would allow for the shaker bits to move around, but it's kind of amazing. So this particular one is 1/4 of an inch smaller than an A2 card. So it will allow for, you know, a border around the edge. The second card that we're going to make, so we're going to make 2 tonight. The second card that we're going to make is using this acetate set, which is exactly A2 size. So you can see how they're different sizes. So whenever you pick them up, make sure you get the one that you want. This one was $4.75. This one was probably slightly cheaper. I don't remember, but I got them at Trinity Stamps. They're called Flat Acetate Shaker Pouches, and they're super easy to use. So we're going to use those tonight. And these skeletons, because they're just so cute. Hi, Peggy. Okay, so what I thought was, since they're solid, we don't have to do any coloring tonight. So I thought, let's emboss them. Like, because I don't do that very often, but I know I want to get to do it a little bit more often, so I thought we'd play tonight. So I have some white here, which is, it's like Brutus Monroe Alabaster White, I guess is what it's called. And then I have some black in here, which I have no idea what brand that is. I clearly didn't label that one. So I just want to show you guys what I see over here. So I have my dies set up to die cut, and they're all laying over here like this. And they look like police body, like lines around the bodies laying on my desk. It's so funny. Anyway, they're ready, so we can die cut out the skeletons once we get them ready. Hey, Danny. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and stamp them with the stamping block tonight. Since I already have them all set up, we might as well. So we are going to do them in both black and white, because I thought that would make it really interesting, and it would be a lot of fun to sort of switch it up a little bit. So I have my Versamark. So we're going to use our Versamark first. So the one we're going to do first is the white. So we're going to stamp on the black. We're going to do 2 on the black and 2 on the white, so that we can see how they both come out with this. So before I get started, I'm going to use my Rabbit Hole Designs little brush, which puts the powder on there so that the stuff will stick appropriately and not everywhere else. So I love this stuff. I probably need to change what's in my brush, because it's been in there a really long time. So I probably should do that. And while I have this out, I'm just going to go ahead and do the white one as well, so that I can just get it on both of them. Can't see it as well on the white as you can on the black, but we'll wipe it off after we do our embossing. But that just keeps the static from keeping all of the embossing powder where we don't want it. So we put that down first. It's of course making a mess on my desk, but that's okay. We can be messy. It's okay. All right. So I'm just going to choose 2 skeletons. It doesn't matter which one. So they're all doing little dancey things. So they look really cute. So it doesn't really matter which one. So I'm going to make sure I get it, since I am hand stamping these. I want to make sure I get it really, 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 really good crisp image. So when I lay it down, you can see it turn black. You see that? That's how I know that I'm getting all the spots. So you can see it change when I put it on there. And then that way, I know that I have all of the embossing on it. So look at how you can see them on there already. So I'm also going to do this little guy. So same thing. I'm just going to make sure I get a whole lot of this powder on here. And then I'm going to stamp him on here. See, you can't see him, and then when you press it down, you can see him turn black. That's how I know that I made sure I got all the spots pressed down real good. There we go. So perfect. I have 2 little guys ready to go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the embossing powder on there, and then I will emboss them all at one time. As long as the embossing powder is on there, it's not going to dry. So I'm good at letting it sit afterwards. So I got these little spoons. They're actually kitchen spoons for like little desserts. And they work really great on here. So I got this one from a friend, but then I went and bought a set of them at the Dollar Tree, so you can buy them at the Dollar Tree as well. They're really helpful. I want to make sure I get it everywhere, so it looked like I missed his head. So we're just going to make sure we get them all on there. Tap it a little bit. Make sure all the dust comes off. These little Tupperware containers are really handy. They don't take up a lot of space, but they hold all your stuff. And then you can just go ahead and move from there. So I spilled some on my desk, but that's okay. So now that I have them with the embossing powder on them, and look at how great they came out, I'm just going to set them aside, and we're going to do the black ones. And then we will heat them up all at the same time. And I'll let you know before I turn the heat tool on, because it'll be kind of loud, and if you guys want to mute for a sec, you can. So I have this other block here, and it has my other 2 skeletons on the opposite side from each other. There's also a little bitty bow. I want, for this set, I'm going to want to specify boy, girl. So we're going to do this one, and we're going to do the hat. So we need the hat. I should put the hat over here. We need the hat in the black, but the bow I'm going to do just stamping in a different color so that we can make it look girly. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with this little guy. I'm going to get him all juiced up. And then we're going to stamp them on here. And I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a little harder to see. So I'm just going to make sure that I press really good. We got the other one good, so we can do this one too. So funny. These little guys, we got to make it one boy, one girl. Because I think I'm going to make a Halloween card that is sort of more boyish. And then one that's a little more girlish, because, you know, I got to send one to my daughter, one to my son, and they need to be different. So, yeah. So here we go. This is going to be our other one. And I just want to make sure I get him real good. These little dancing bones make me laugh so hard. I just love them. And then once we lift that up, we got that, but we got to do the hat as well. So I'm going to do the hat now, and I'm going to make sure the hat is further over here so that I don't put him right on top of the skeleton. So I have 2 skeletons and a hat. Hard to see on camera, I'm sure, but if I pick it up, you might be able to see a little bit of the resemblance. I can see it really well here in person, but I'm pretty sure it'll be hard for you to see until we put this on it. Now, I don't recommend doing this embossing when you have a fan on, so just keep that in mind. But I have spoons in each tray that I have. I don't have a lot of embossing colors because I don't generally emboss, but I should because it's so satisfying. It makes me really happy to do it. It's just, I always had problems with excess stuff being around and then I don't get a crisp look, but that's what that Rabbit Hole Designs brush is for, to prevent that from happening. So I think it works better if you have fresh powder in there, and I don't, so I need to update my powder. But so far it's working pretty good. So now you can see my little skeletons here. I'm going to put just a little bit more powder over it just to make sure it picked up everywhere it was supposed to, especially on white, because you can see the white through it. And then I'm going to dump the rest back in the little cup. And there they are dancing, all happy. Happy little skeletons. I don't know why I like these skeletons so much. I don't have a lot of Halloween stamp sets, but these, man, they spoke to me when I saw them. I said, I gotta have those little guys. Gotta have them. I don't want to lose that bow for sure. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to get my heat tool out and I'm going to heat them up. But you'll want to watch them because they start like real when it melts, then they get really a lot brighter than they are right now. So here we go. If you want to turn it down. It's going to take a second for it to warm up. I should have prepped it for that, but I didn't. Oh, there we go. Starting to do its thing. Oh, his bones. They look so good. I can tell you, it sounds like my heat tool is on its last leg. Might not make it too much longer. Might be a dead heat tool. Oh, I forgot to heat the back side. Somebody told me you should heat the back side just to make sure it sets in really good. So, yes, my lives are now at 8:30 instead of 9:30. I've been that way for a little while. Look, you can see the black really well. I noticed some of my people were starting to fall asleep during the live, so I tried to make it a little bit earlier so I wouldn't lose people halfway through the video. $6:30, yeah, it's really early for you. I'm thinking about switching up, like adding some random days with different times just to kind of catch other people. I didn't realize my heat tool sounded so bad. I may need to look into getting a new one. Okay, so here we go. We have 4 skeletons. So this one's had a little bit of time to dry. That one I got a little bit, I probably didn't get enough stuff on that one. But I'm going to take this dry and just wipe off some of this white that I got on there from the brush tool, just because I don't want it to be so white. He's a little bit spotty, but that's okay. If I had used my Misty, I could have double stamped him and he probably would have came out a lot whiter, but I mean, he's bones, so I'm okay with it. All right, so now we have the die cuts. So what I'm going to do, because we're going to use my little die cut machine, I'm going to use my little die cut machine, so I got to cut these down, because if I don't cut them down, then I can't fit them on the little plate. So, but I want to do it while I'm sitting here so I can keep talking to you guys. You liked 9:30 better? Huh. That's later for you. $8:30 works a little bit better for me, just because by the time I upload the video to YouTube and do all of that stuff, it's past midnight. So doing it earlier, it's not. It's like 11, which works out better for Dale getting up in the morning. But we can talk about different times. Hi, Marcia. We can talk about different times if they works better for the majority. So I already put some washi tape on here to hold my die still, so I can cut it out like exactly where I want it. And I thought it would just be a little bit easier to have it prepped. So there we go. He looks like he's strapped down. I strapped him down. I got him. He's all good. Here's the other one. I mean, these skeletons, you can stamp them in white ink. I got this white, I don't know if you guys knew, but there's now a white stamp pad for distress inks and oxides in that brand. But I don't know, mine doesn't stamp very well. I think it's either low on ink or it didn't come inked up the way that I needed it to be. So I'm going to have to get a refill for it before I can use it. So I won't be able to do that. But I have this little mini Gemini, so I'm going to stick this little guy in here with his friend. They're going to hang out together while I die cut him out. We can do them at the same time. Oops. There we go. And that shouldn't be too bad. Yep. So now I'm going to stick the little design on the other two. We'll die cut them and the hat. I want to get them lined up. I don't like it when I don't get them centered and then I end up with too much white on one side, not enough on the other side. I hate when my die cuts don't die cut exactly the way that I want them to, so it takes me a second to line them up. I'm kind of picky about that. But that's a personal preference. Some people, they don't care so much, but I really like mine to line up like perfectly and not leave too much of a border on one side versus the other. If I do, then I have to cut it down. I can't help myself. So we're going to stick him on the tray, and we're going to stick the other one on the tray, and we're going to try to fit the hat as well, because why not? We can cut them all at the same time. That would be fabulous. And I can't see through this one if I leave the washi tape on there, so I had to take it off for this one. So there we go. And we'll stick this one on here too. It should be okay. It'll probably work right there. So I'll close this up And then I'm just going to cut that excess off of the edge, because if I don't, it won't go through my machine. Oh, is it going to let me? Yep. There we go. Now we can do them all at one time. That's a lot of doing for this little mini Gemini. I like that I can fit that many on this little sheet. And it cut them out great. So we have a hat and a skeleton. Oh, and he came out perfect. And the second skeleton. And then we have a third skeleton. And a fourth skeleton. You see how easy they came out? I really like that. That makes me really happy. Because who doesn't like for it to go smoothly? Okay, two little black skeletons, two little white skeletons, and a hat. Now, I'm going to use this paper right here for a sentiment. So we're going to need a sentiment for one of them. So I think I already had it out. There it is. And I'm just going to use my VersaFine Clair for this. So we're just going to stamp it in black. But whenever you use a block versus the Misty, you have to be careful not to squish it down too much, because if you squish it down too much, it kind of squishes all the letters together. See, that came out perfectly. Probably hard for you guys to see so far away, but if you press down too hard, you squish all the letters together, and then it just doesn't look right. I've also taken out this other ink pad, which, by the way, I know you guys have never seen me use. I have a whole set of these Encore, and I never use them. But since I want to put a bow in this little girl's hair, this little skeleton's hair, I'm going to stamp it in this pink color. So I have a really cute little bow for her that stands out. So I'm going to just put it in the pink. And then I'll use the die cuts to cut both of them out, because that'll just make it easier. And I'm just setting these blocks over here for now. I'll clean them after the live. You guys don't have to watch me do that. Okay, so let me close my ink pads, because I like to stick my elbows in them. And we don't want to do that tonight. And then I'm going to pull out the die cuts for the sentiment and the bow. So the matching die set for this cuts out everything, all the sentiments and everything. So that is awesome. The other ones say, I thought you might find this card humorous. I can feel it in my bones. It's going to be okay. Break a leg. Bonjour. Happy Halloween, shake, rattle, and roll. So some really cute sentiments there as well. This one is going to go here. And then as soon as we get all these pieces together, we'll be able to start assembling the shaker cards, which are going to be really neat. I am excited to show you guys the shaker cards. I'm going to go ahead and put this on that part of the Happy Halloween, and then I'm going to put this bow right here, so it'll cut it out at the same time. This one is a little bit harder to line. Oh, I feel like I'm playing. Did anybody play Operation when they were little? That's what this feels like. Trying to place this over there because it's so small. And using my tweezers feels like that game Operation. That game made me jump every time I played it. All right, one more use of the little Gemini Mini to cut these last two little things out that we need. We might need it one more time for the sentiment on the other card, but it's gonna be a die, so we'll do that later. That's gonna be card number 2. Oh, there's my bow. There's my hair bow. And there's my sentiment. Okay, now the first card that we're going to make is going to take all of these pieces, and the second card's going to take these pieces. Oh, I knew her bow was going to disappear if I slid them. Here it is, stuck to my hand. And the hat goes with this one too. So we're going to signify our boy and our girl with the hat and the bow. So we need that for the second card. So we'll just set those aside. This is going to be our first card. Okay, you guys ready? It's time to put it together. All right, so I pre-cut a little bit of papers. I went through and I chose this background paper right here. This is all printed. It's got bats on the other side, but I thought it was really cute. I matched up the yellow with it. And then here's the black card base. So this card base is A2 size. So it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There we go. And then of course an insert that goes inside the card because not everyone has white gel pens to write on their cards. And then we're going to use our Barely Art glue to put that base down. It seems like this live is moving faster than I thought, but the shaker card part takes a bit to do, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. And I've discovered a few little shortcuts for the shaker card, so I can't wait to show you guys that. Okay, so this will be our card. This will be the outside pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on, and then we're going to start assembling our shaker card using those really cool shaker pouches. So this shaker pouch is the one that's 1/4 inch smaller than the A2 card. So each one of these papers is cut 1/4 inch smaller than that. So if the shaker card is 4 by 5 1/4, then this one is 4 by 5 1/4, and the smaller one is 3.75 by 5. So each one is 1/4 inch smaller than the other. That way you have the border of everything on there. All right, so this one is going to go on here, but we can't do that until we do our shaker. So see how they're all 1/4 inch smaller? But we're going to use this for our shaker, which is this one right here. So whenever you get these flat acetate shaker boxes, this makes life so much easier, seriously. Whenever you get them, there is a piece of an outer protective film layer that you have to remove before you start. So on this one, what I found out is it's usually this side, the side where the edges are curved up a little bit. This is usually the side, and I usually test it over here in the corner, the part that you won't see. In case I scratch the plastic, you won't be able to see it. So it makes it look like crystal clear. Can you see the difference between those? So much better. So it's crystal clear. So that's going to be our shaker. And then we're going to take these little Happy Halloween guys. So one of them I'm going to place in here. And I'm just going to glue it down and I'm going to glue it really good because I want it to be super flat for when I put the shakers. I don't want the bits to get stuck on the skeleton. So I'm going to make sure I get pretty good amount of glue in there. I'm also going to make sure if any oozes out that it's all dried up before I move on. So I'm going to place him on here. We're going to put one skeleton inside the card and one skeleton outside of the card. So I'm going to use my press pop here to really press down on him to make sure he's really flat on the surface. There we go. So he's good to go. Next, I'm going to put this one and this one on the outside of the shaker card. So next we're going to get ready to actually put the shaker card together. So what I usually do is I take the shaker card and I place it upside down like this, and then I take my double-sided sticky tape because it's really good. It holds it really well, and I'll put them along each side of this. Now this strip is bigger than the edge of the shaker, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be taping this whole back side to the card. So once I put that on, I usually bend up the side like this just a little bit, just to keep that centerpiece held where it needs to be held. And I'm just going to go all the way around. I'm going to start up here because the tape is already curved in that direction. And it just makes it easier that way. Then I'll cut this one. As long as you're close, it's good. Just don't go past that folded line right there when you're putting the tape on there. Don't put the tape past the folded line. It's already burnished, so, oh, I put the tape past the line. It's already burnished, so it'll fold up really easy. I think it'll be okay. So no worries about that. I just try to make sure I don't go past that line on here when I put my card together. I don't care if it hangs off the edge. I just don't want to go further than the outside. There we go. So now what this has done is kind of started prepping the actual box, which I love. It just is so easy. This way it's solid. It feels solid. I just really like it. I'm really happy with the way that it works out. Like this needs to scoot down just a little bit more so that this will fold up. There we go. Having the card in there already, the card backing in there, helps you know exactly where you want it to be. Now I'm going to fold this one up just so I can see. Now I'm going to attach 3 sides, and I'm going to leave one side open for the shaker bits. And this will make it so much easier. Hey, Laura. So I'm going to peel these off one at a time and attach them one at a time. And it feels like this is going to remain super flat, but this pouch, it doesn't. It bubbles up. It's great. It's a great invention. I don't know who discovered it, but I'm telling you, it is the best. It makes it so much easier. Then you just fold over that. I usually press it with this tool, or you could use a burnisher like this if you had one. Whatever kind you have, you can use. Just to make sure that gets a really good seal on there. We're going to do one more side, and then we're going to add some shaker bits. There we go. Then you just lay this part down. If you don't have one of these Teflon things, they're really super cool. This one is from Trinity Stamps, but I love it. It burnishes really well. So now we have this. But when you lift this up, it opens the whole pocket. so you can fill it with whatever you want to fill it with. So I have chosen a few different things because I like to put more than one thing in there. So these are Trinity Stamps little shaker bits. And this one is Halloween colored. I think it's called Halloween Cupcake. But it has bats, stars, hearts, all kinds of little thingies in there. So I'm just going to shake some of them in there. Get it? Shaker, shake them. However many you want to put in there. I like a lot of shaker bits, so I'm going to put a few more. And then this one is eyeballs. Isn't that funny? I wanted to add the eyeballs just because I think it just breaks up all that color that we have in there. So I want to get those shook up pretty good before I close it up. And if you have any, if you have any that stand up, we gotta knock them down. I don't think I have enough shaker bits in there. I think I need more. So I'm gonna add some more. You can add as many as you want, but I like a lot of shaker bits in mine. There we go. Much better, much better. Look, he has a bat over his eye, so you can't really see him. I just make sure that they're all laying flat before I seal it. You know, so that I don't seal it with them standing up, because sometimes the little pieces will stand up on the end, and I want to seal this as flat as I can. So I'm going to flip it over, press it down, and then I'm going to take this off of my double-sided sticky tape, and I'm going to press that on. That way I don't have a huge bubble in the front, but I definitely will have a bubble for the shaker bits to move around. So now it's in there really good. It's a really good pocket, but look at look at how easy everything moves around. I just love it. This is like the best pocket ever, seriously. So now what I want to do is add my other skeleton to the front of the card. It just kind of makes it look like they're not in the same place. It kind of gives it dimension. And I like that, so I'm going to do that with this little guy. And we're going to place him down just a little bit so that we don't cover up that little bat in the sky right there. Now, the Barely Art glue will hold on the acetate, but I want to just hold it for a second to make sure it holds really well. But I don't have any problems with the Barely Art glue on the acetate, so I like that. And then I'm going to put the Happy Halloween sentiment on the outside as well. So we have one skeleton on the inside, one on the outside, and all the shaker bits on the inside. So I'm going to place this Happy Halloween about right there. Because it's acetate, you have to make sure it doesn't slide around, so you need to hold it for a second until it's stable, and then you can, you know, rub on it, but you got to make sure it is stuck before you do that. So cute already. But now we have to add it to the card. So I mean, you can use Barely Art glue, but I like to use the double-sided sticky tape just to make sure it's strong enough to hold it. It's also curved, which gives, I think the Barely Art glue would still hold it, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and use the double-sided sticky tape. This is probably one of the only times that I use the double-sided sticky tape. I just don't use it that much anymore. But I like it with this card. So this is the more masculine type card that I would probably send to my son, and the other one we're going to make is probably the one that I would send to my daughter. So you can put a lot of tape on here, or you can fill it in with glue if you want. Either way, doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to do with your shaker card. Oh, you like it? I know, I'm telling you, these skeletons, super easy to make, but so cute. You can do so many things with them. And you know, if you cut just the, if you cut out just the outline, it really does look like the outline of a body, like in the movies when they're investigating and, oh, there was a dead body right there. There we go. Now remember, I said this is the one that's 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card, so it's going to leave a black border around. So I got to make sure when I place it down that I place it down correctly. There we go. And then I'm just going to flip it over to rub it on there. Make sure I have it stuck really, really good. And then there we go. I mean, it looks like they're running out of that haunted house right there. Isn't that cute? And the eyeballs in there. I just think this is so cute. So that's card number 1. Now we're going to move on to the white skeletons. Oh, I think I did them backwards. I really wanted the white skeletons in here. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll try the white ones on this other one, and if it doesn't, I mean, we'll try these, and if it doesn't look good, then we'll swap it. Okay, so the next card I have, I wanted to use some paper from the Scrappy Boy paper pad. I really love this. It's called Villainous Bombshells, but it has Maleficent ears in it, but I hadn't used any of it. I just think it's so pretty though. And one of the papers that was in there looks like this. So it has roses and spiders, and I thought the spiders were kind of cool for Halloween. So I thought it would be a good one to use. And then I also have some black paper taken out so that I can do my die cut. I want to do my sentiment out of this die cut that says trick or treat. So we have to cut that out. And then we're going to use the acetate shaker card that does the full outline of the card. So it doesn't really matter what color the card is. I just chose something that was similar to this color background, but you won't see it from the front of the card. You'll only see it from the back of the card. So it doesn't really matter. You could use black, or you could use a different color of pink, or whatever makes you happy. So I didn't cut this paper yet, so we have to cut this paper. Clearly, it has to be the same size as the card. So this one, I can't cut 1/4 of an inch smaller. You got to run? Okay. See ya. Good. Thanks for stopping in. I need to make this one the same size as the card. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one we're not going to cut down because our shaker box is the same size as the card. So this one has to be the exact same size. And then I have to cut down this black so we can cut it through the Gemini. So I'm going to lay it on here just to get an eyeball idea of how much I need in order to cut that out. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it works. All right, so we're just going to run this one through. This is the only Halloween die cut I have with words. And it says trick or treat, so I thought that would be cute. I don't have one that says Halloween, and honestly, I don't have very many Halloween sentiments at all. So, yeah, there's that. I may have to look into that for this holiday season, but here we go. This one cuts really well. See? I'm just going to lift it out of here, maybe. How about we just do that? There we go. Comes right out. This one stuck in there, but the rest, it's all done. So some stuck in there, but there's those little holes, so you can just poke it out real easily. I don't know if you guys ever have that problem, but sometimes those little pieces stick in there. I always clean them out because I don't like them in there when I start the next die cut, so I always take them out before that happens. It just makes it easier when you get ready to do your next project. All right, so same size as the card, which is perfect. Now, I want to put these little guys on here. They're going to be kind of dancing together. They're so cute. But I have plenty of room, but I don't have enough room to put the whole word up here the way that I wanted to. So I like to do this. I'm going to cut them. I'm just going to cut them apart. So it's going to say trick or treat. This one, it left a bit of too much at the bottom of these letters, so I'm just going to trim them up. I think they'll still look good and you won't be able to notice that I cut them apart. I like to do this with my sentiments a lot, separate them and make them fit on the card, so I don't mind doing that at all. Now I have to choose. I think this one is going to be my little boy skeleton. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the little hat. And I think I'm going to stick it in his hand rather than on his head. So I just want him to be holding his little top hat. Now, you could put it on his head, but I just kind of like it in his hand. So that's my little boy, and then my girl, I want to put the bow on her head, so it looks like a girl skeleton. I mean, how are you going to tell the difference? You got to have a bow. So we're going to put this little bow on her head. Now, I'm pretty sure this bow tie was meant to probably go here, but, you know, hey, we got to be creative. I have some very teeny tiny, hi Diana, I have some very teeny tiny little black dots right here, which I was going to use to indicate the center of the bow. I'm not really sure where that went. It just flicked, so I got to get a different one. I'm sure I'll find it. See, it's perfect. It fits right in the middle of that bow. So it'll be this centerpiece for my bow. If I can get it in the right spot. Come on. There we go, right there. Then I'm going to press it with the press pop just to make sure it stays on there really good. And now we have a girl skeleton and a boy skeleton. How cute is that? I found the other one stuck to my finger. It went flying. I couldn't figure out where it went. I'm sure you guys have those same issues. So I'm going to put Trick at the top. So he's doing a trick with his little hat. And then I'm going to put or treat at the bottom. So look, they fit so much better like that. So he'll fit right there and she'll fit right there. And he's going to be doing a little trick. And when I put the shaker bits in there, it might even cover up or treat sometimes. So it'll be spooky. Trick or what do you think? Don't know. Or treat. So now I'm going to stick this down. And like I said before, if you're going to put this inside with the shaker bits, you got to make sure that you get all the edges down flat so the shaker bits don't get stuck on it. So that's why I'm putting a bit more glue than I would normally put on the words, because I want to make sure they get put on there really flat. So I'm going to press them. Yes, Dale is working in the shop. Did you notice? There are some, yeah, he's got some production going on. I've been drawing, he's been creating, so be on the lookout for new stuff from Ledoux Designs coming soon. It's exciting. That's the only little bit of hint I'm gonna give you. Won't be too awful much longer. Yeah, you can hear it. She can hear it. She says, "Is Dale working?"
3D.
Yes, he is.
3D stencils and drawings.
Yep, 3Ds. We've been working on 3D stuff, stencils, and artwork. So, lots and lots of stuff coming. So now we have trick or treat. I think it would look good if I used my white gel pen on the letters. I know, right? It's exciting. It doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of people here, so they're going to be very excited when they hear, but you're the first to know. I'm just going to put a little bit of white on here since I ended up using the white skeletons. I want to have just a little bit, and I'm just going to put it random, almost like it's just something spilled on these letters. So I just want to add a little bit of that. And it doesn't have to be like perfect or anything, so don't worry about that if you're using a gel pen for this purpose, because you can do whatever you want. We just finished watching the Squid Games again. Anybody seen that? It's really messed up. It's on Netflix. It's kind of like, it's not really scary. It's just, it's messed up. That's for sure. Cheryl says she can't wait to see what we have up our sleeve. Lots and lots of stuff. You know, it takes a while to get back on your feet when you change things up a bit, but don't worry, we'll be around. This one up here, I think I'll make a little bit different. I'm going to put like some dots and stuff, just so it looks different than the or treat a little bit. I want it to be a little sketchy looking, so it's not smooth. Know that I know that it's not smooth, and it's not smooth on purpose. Because I want it to look a little on the spooky side. So that's why I'm doing it kind of sketchy like. There we go. Now we have a little bit of trick or treat on there. Now let's put our little guys down. Now these are going to all be inside this shaker card. Everything's going to be inside the shaker card this time instead of on the outside, including the shaker bits. And we even have some glow in the dark shaker bits. Don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that how they glow in the dark, but they're super cool. I like the glow-in-the-dark shaker bits. My daughter's going to love this card. She loves Halloween. Love hearing the machine working and dance at work. So you can't wait. I know. I'm excited that he's back to it, too. He needed a break. He's also back to costume making, preparing for the tournament for the Best in shows from last year. It's going to be in February, so he started working on his costume too. So he's got lots of stuff in the works right now. So what'd you guys think about making these skeletons into boys and girls? Aren't they just the cutest? I really like these skeletons. I don't know, the minute I saw them, I had to have them. I just thought they were the cutest things ever. I think I'll stamp on the inside. I thought you'd find this card humorous because I think that's funny. You could also make them hold hands if you wanted to. I mean, each one is doing different motions, so you can definitely sync them up. The boy and the girl together. How cool is that?
You should do one where you make like a little stage and a curtain in the background.
Like a stage with a curtain? Yeah, that'd be funny. I love it. I'm going to hold that up so you guys can see. Isn't that just the cutest? Oh my gosh. I love it. And I like this paper too. And it's definitely more girly than the other one was. But this one will glow in the dark. So if you touch it and it doesn't come up, then you have the wrong side. So that's why I always do it on this fold over part right here. So if I scratch the acetate, I don't mess it up. If I was doing it right here, I might mess up the front of the card, and I don't want to do that. So whatever side, that's the nice, clean, crisp side. Whichever side that they're folded a little bit on their own. So whatever direction they're going, I keep that direction. So now this one will fit right in the center of this one because I cut it at that card size. So we're going to do the same thing with our double-sided sticky tape again. We're going to go along the edges. And just lay that down. The double-sided sticky tape, you can just tear that with your finger. You don't even have to use scissors. I usually use my fingernail to make it cut. I should be folding these up, then it'll stay in place. We talked about that the last time, and now I'm not doing it. But it makes it a little bit easier for the paper to stay in place and for the sticky tape that's hanging over not to stick to your table. So those are just a few little shortcuts. But it is, I think the last time we did something like this, somebody suggested I leave one end open to add the shaker bits, and that was epic. That makes it so much easier than what I was trying to do before. There we go. So definitely these are way faster than doing it with the old-fashioned way and die cutting a box and putting it around and then adding the dimension, and I mean it's way easier like this. Just saying. And I'm going to show you something else that they have that makes shakers. I can't wait. I think we'll maybe do it tomorrow because I want you guys to be able to see it, but we're going to have some coloring going on tomorrow for sure.
Thursday.
I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Thursday. I can't stop saying that. I'm so sorry. Thursday. I think we're going to do this other one that I have, which I will show you here in just a minute. But as easy as these rectangle shaker boxes are, I wonder how easy it would be to use. Oh, where are they? Oh, they have escaped me. I must have took them out preparing to play with them for tomorrow. I'll find them, no worries. But we'll go ahead and finish this. Okay, now it's time to put shaker bits in there. Whoop, whoop. Yes, Thursday. Thursday. I'm pretty sure I had them on my desk because I wanted to show them to you. Ah, yes, here they are. Okay, so they also have these. Look at these. So these are also shaker boxes, circle assortment of shakers. So you can make circle shakers. So this is what we're going to play with on Thursday, but I will take Wednesday too. But look, they're so interesting. So you can make a circle shaker card. There's 3 sizes in there. So Thursday, we're going to play with these so you guys can see how you can make a circle shaker card versus a rectangle shaker card. I think it's pretty cool that they have that other shape. Okay, where's my shaker bits? Okay, so I have these little pink flowers, which I think go really good with this. And then these are the ones that glow in the dark. So they even say glow in the dark on them. I got these from Rabbit Hole Designs, but there's moons and stars. And I thought, what is cooler than glowing in the dark? I'm excited about that. So we're going to put those in there, both of them, because, you know, there are flowers on the background. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. Oops. We'll just scoop it off and then I will have it. I also want to add some bones. So I have some bone shaker bits. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them before, but you can use them for dogs or cats or whatever, but they're little bones. See? So they look like dog bones a little bit, but I thought they would match my bones, and it's called Bone Collector. So we're going to put some bones in there with our glow-in-the-dark stars and moons and bones, and we're going to put the flowers in there because that'll be so cool. So now we have bones, glow-in-the-dark stars, and the moon, and now we have flowers as well, which I feel like will mix really good well with all of that together. I don't want them all to be in the same place, so I'm just going to move them around a little bit so we get a variety of what's going on here. Now, in order to get it a little bit sparkly, I feel like it needs a little bit of shine in there as well. So I'm just going to put a few of these. They're called Sparkle All the Way. It's confetti. This calls for confetti. But I think that these will just do a little bit of illuminating on there. And I felt like it needed just a little bit of sparkly stuff as well. I mean, it is a girl one, so a girl card. So there we go. Lay them all flat. Going to flip them over. And then we're going to seal that last side like this. Press it really good. Make sure you get that really good seal. And then when we flip it over, things are so much cheaper over there for you guys. You should have tons of craft stuff in your rooms. Yes, we do. And some of this stuff is really neat. Double the amount. Oh yeah, it really does. You know, if you ever need any of this, I can help you, Cheryl. You know I can. You shop in my pocket. So I want to put a paper on the inside of this card. I know it's pink, and you could probably write on pink just fine with black, but I'm going to put the white card in there anyway because there's white in the skeletons, and I think it just brings the color together. So I'm going to stick it inside of this card. I'll just keep that white pattern, see, going together. I think it'll just look better, even though I don't really need it in there necessarily. Now this one is going to fit directly over top of this. So you're not going to see anything but the shaker card. She's going to love it. I think she's going to love it. I think she'll really like it. It's so cute. So I have some surprises for you guys. They're on the way to me. I know that that most people don't have any Ledoux Designs images. A lot of people were asking, what is Ledoux Designs images, and I used to sell them with another company, my images to another company, and they made them into stamps. And there have been a few on some people selling theirs, some design team people who, of course, can't use them because we don't sell them anymore. So I have bought them back. And what I'm going to do is some giveaways in the group. So stay tuned. We'll do some giveaways so some of you guys can have some Ledoux Designs images to play with. Now you can certainly post in the group without using any of the Ledoux Designs images. You can post any cards you want. We'd love to see what you have to share. Do shakers or coloring or anything. You have them all. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't sell any of my drawn images, but a few people were letting go of a couple of theirs, and so I picked them up so that I could share them with you guys while you're waiting for new ones to come out, and for people who don't have them. And don't worry, Cheryl, if you were to win the drawing, then I would send you something else if you already have the one that I'd be giving away. So don't worry, everyone can be included even if you already have it. You just have to tell me. But I have to get them. I'm waiting. They're supposed to be shipped here. And then this card goes right on top of here. Make sure you put it, go in the right direction. Don't put it upside down because that would be really bad. Not that we couldn't figure out a way to fix it, but we just don't want to put it on there wrong. So now this is the full card one. So you'll want to make sure if you pick up these pouches that you get the one that you like. I don't know which one I like better. There's the ones that are the full size of the card, so you don't see any paper behind it, but when you lift it up, it's just whatever color you chose. That I had already, so I need to sell them. Oh no, duplicates. And then this one is the one that's 1/4 of an inch smaller so that you can see the black border, which is the base of the card. So when you're looking at them, make sure that you're paying attention to which one that you buy so you don't end up with the wrong one. So let's see. On the back, it tells you right here, it says, contains 5 pieces, A2 shaker measures 4 by 5 1/4. That's the one that's smaller than an A2 card. So it'll leave a border around the front. The other one says measures 4.25 by 5.5. So that is the one that's the same size as the front of the A2 card. So that's this one. So just keep in mind when you purchase these types of shaker cards that you know what you're getting. And it's 5 pieces for $4.75, which is not bad. 5 for $4.75. I don't know how much the smaller ones are. I don't know if they're the same price or not because the sticker's not on here, but this one was $4.75. So not too bad at all. And then on Thursday, we'll look at how you put together this one to make circle shakers, because I think the circle shakers are super cool. So here are our 2 cards for tonight. I know there wasn't any coloring. There will be coloring on Thursday. I'm thinking of, would you guys like a sneak peek of the stamp set I think we're going to use on Thursday with our circle shakers? Because I know, so cheap, right? Not bad at all. So the one thing I will tell you is that I couldn't do the circle shaker card. I haven't been able to play with these because you need to be able to cut a circle in that size, a paper circle in that size. And you could hand cut it, but if it's not right, it won't lay right. And so I bought all these circle nesting dies, and I made sure I measured that, and I made sure that this one came with the sizes that I need for each one of these, and it does. So we'll be using this and this on Thursday. And I think it'll be really fun. And so I think this is the stamp set, because we're going to be using the really teeny tiny little circles as well, is this set from Trinity Stamps. Look at, oh my gosh, look at that little bat. So we'll have to color him and him. We'll have to color them. So there'll be a little bit of coloring on Thursday, and then I'll show you how to make the shakers, the circle shakers. So we'll make the cards and we'll use these. It'll be super fun. So make sure you come back and join me on Thursday. Look at my mess. But I hope that you enjoyed these. I hope you like them as much as I do. And I hope you're starting to get ready for your, I'm going to try to hold this under the light and see if I turn out a light, if you can see it glow. So I turned out one light. And let me see if I can make it glow for you guys. Look, you can see it. You see it? So all the stars and the moons glow in the card. Isn't that cool? I really love those. I can't believe that worked so you guys could see that. I'm so happy that worked. I was worried about it not being dark enough, but isn't that cool? So I think that will be a neat surprise when she puts this card in the house and Cooper sees it glow at night. I think that'll be really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know, right? I think I got them from Rabbit Hole Designs. I don't know if they still sell them, but I bet you could find them at other places as well. But I bought them because I was like, what's better than glow in the dark? I mean, I love glow in the dark stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I love these little skeletons. I'm sure you'll see more of them from me. You guys have a great evening. I will see you back here on Thursday at 8:30 Central. I will consider changing the times up, and I will let you guys know if anything changes. And I love that you guys watch. You can watch this as a replay on YouTube. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, so if you're only catching part of this, you can definitely catch the whole thing on YouTube. So go out and like and subscribe. There are also speed videos out there, so definitely subscribe so you can see every time I upload a video. Thanks so much for joining me. Good night, you guys. See you Thursday.